Hello, let's do Wordle number 726, and for the math theme, Water Crane suggested Goldie and ratio for the golden ratio. I prepared some notes on that because I think that the golden ratio is pretty interesting. I just want to make sure I get it right. So the golden ratio is often represented by the Greek letter phi, which is approximately 1.618. It pops up all over the place, from nature's spirals to classical architecture. But what's really cool about it, though, is it's what mathematicians call the most irrational number. So what does that mean? Well, it means it's difficult to find a simple fraction that gets close to the value, that can approximate it well. So like pi can be approximated pretty well with 22 over 7, the square root of 2 with 99 over 70, but the golden ratio just stubbornly stays hard to approximate, the most of any irrational number. That doesn't mean you can't approximate it. It just means you need to use larger numerators and denominators to get similar approximations as you would for, say, pi or square root of 2 or other irrational numbers. But if you do want to approximate phi, you can actually fairly simply come up with a ratio that is more and more and more, that's closer and closer and closer to phi. And what you do is you take two consecutive Fibonacci numbers and you divide them. So like 8 over 5, 13 over 8, 21 over 13. The bigger the Fibonacci numbers you use, as long as they're consecutive, the better your approximation of phi is. And so there's actually this close connection between the golden ratio and Fibonacci numbers, which is also really cool. So anyway, I hope you don't mind that tiny math lesson. If you want to learn more about the golden ratio, there's some great videos on YouTube about it. But I'm going to start with Goldie and ratio. That is interesting. We have a Y, but it's not at the end. That is unusual. Not impossible, obviously. We already had yacht, and also there's no T. Otherwise, I might have guessed that. You know what? A word that comes up in variants a lot is payee, which is a fun word because it's like you don't think about there being an opposite to payer, but it makes sense to have a payee, the person receiving the payment. I don't know if I want to guess that or not. There aren't all that many words that have Y not at the end. Especially since we don't have plurals. So, why not? Why don't we just try payee? All right, I was kind of expecting it to be all green, but unfortunate. You know what? Yesterday's adoptal ended up being Wayne, and I couldn't figure it out, which is sad because one of my favorite characters in a book series I read is named Wayne. It just didn't come to me. But I don't think Wayne's going to be the answer to this because they're just not names. But I was in the same situation of A, Y, and E placed. Faye something? Fane? I think Fane is what I ended up guessing and failing on that one. It's not double E. The only other vowel we've got is the U. That doesn't look like a word to me. So what actually goes here? Not sure if writing it out helps. It's right above. Is it obvious? J, Faye, May, nay, say, like say something, say, way, wave. Huh. I'm tempted to try Wayne, just see if it's the same as the adoptal, but I don't know what Wayne would mean other than being a name. It may not even be accepted. I'm actually kind of stumped. Like, I'm not even sure what a good candidate for this would be. It could start with pretty much any of these consonants, but I don't know what goes between that Y and E. Oh, maybe. Oh, it was so obvious. Wow, that took me way too long. Maybe it's another one of those words like there or things like that where, they're words, yes, but also I don't think of them as the same class of, I don't know. I don't know if I'm making any sense at all, but let me know if I am. Did you struggle with maybe? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. But yeah, partially it was because of just trying to fill letters into here. There were so many options that could have worked, but yeah, maybe, yeah. Maybe should I be embarrassed? I don't know. Let's spin the wheel of themes while you contemplate whether that was embarrassing or not. All right, another old one, a crossword theme suggested by Dental Pharynx. So 2 words related to crosswords in some way. That seems topical. And of course, if you enjoyed this content, then why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.